Both are these.
Is it only one page?
Yeah.
Well, you never see me tap it.
What? 49. Yeah, let's do one more.
Do you have a preference?
I like Charcon.
May I have your attention, please? The faculty and staff of Widener University Commonwealth Law School welcome you. We ask that you remain seated during the procession. And now, dear family and friends, it is with great pride that we present to you the graduating class of Widener University Commonwealth Law School, the class of 2026.
Welcome to the 35th commencement ceremony of the Widener University Commonwealth Law School. We are so happy to be here and to see all of you here today. If you are able, please stand for the singing of the national anthem by Ms. Carly Lafferty.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ms. Carly. Will you all please be seated? Good morning. I am André Cummings, the Dean of Widener University Commonwealth Law School. It is my pleasure to welcome each of you to this year's special commencement ceremony. Seated on this platform are our distinguished guests here today to recognize our graduates and to recognize our families of those graduates. I'm very delighted to introduce to you the Pennsylvania Attorney General, Dave Sunday. Dave is a proud graduate of our law school from 2007 and has graciously accepted our invitation to speak to you today as our graduation speaker. Also joining us on this platform today are members of Widener University's Board of Trustees, including the chair of our board, Paul Bideman, our vice chair, Dr. Cynthia Sarnosky, the secretary of our board, Dexter Hamilton, the Honorable Judge Scott Reed, and vice chair of our board of trustees and graduate of our law school from 1996, Vice Chair Doug Wolfberg. Doug also serves as a member of my Dean's Advisory Council. We are also pleased to welcome to our platform members of my Dean's Advisory Council, Kevin Gold, Chair John Koltash, I should say chair and professor. Dean's Advisory Council member and professor Todd Schill, and our Alumni Advisory Board Chair, Mark Kovalcin. I'm also honored today to introduce Widener University's president, the fabulous Stacy Robertson, our provost, Mark Nicosia, and members of our esteemed and fantastic faculty. We have a few speeches before we get to crossing the stage. So the first comes from our chair of the Alumni Advisory Board, Mr. Mark Kovalcin. He's a 2017 graduate of the law school. He serves as assistant counsel at the Pennsylvania Health Insurance Exchange Authority, and he is the president and chair of our Alumni Advisory Board. Mark.
Thank you, Dean, and good morning, class of 2026. As president of the Widener University Commonwealth Law School Alumni Advisory Board, it is my great honor to welcome you to our alumni community. As a graduate of our outstanding law school, today you join an alumni body of over 4,000 attorneys located in almost every state of the union and in many countries across the globe. Our practice areas are diverse. We are federal and state judges. We are elected officials, including, as you heard, the Honorable Attorney General of our great Commonwealth. We're public service. We're nonprofit lawyers. We're in private practice. We're corporate executives. We work at Wall Street law firms with thousands of attorneys, at one-level legal aid offices, and at law firms of every size in between. We work at the governor's office, every state agency in the Commonwealth, and in every branch of government. We work at publicly traded and privately held corporations of all sizes. Most importantly, however, each of us uses our Widener education to improve the world in which we live. While it is tempting to think of today as the end of your time at Widener, I'm here to tell you that it's not. Today is merely the beginning of a new chapter. As you have joined our esteemed profession, you will find your fellow Widener Law Commonwealth alumni to be supportive and engaging. Take what you've learned during your time at Widener and use it to the best of your ability. Be engaged in the profession. Be engaged with those with whom you work. Be engaged with the Alumni Association. Together, through our engagement, we do make a difference, and we do improve the world in which we live. On behalf of all of the 4,000 strong Widener Law Commonwealth alumni, congratulations, good luck, and welcome to the status of alumni. Thank you.
It is our tradition to hear from two students at graduation. The first is our SBA president, and the second is our valedictorian. So we'll start with our SBA president. It is my delight to introduce to you Ely Zeigler. Ely is now the immediate past president of the SBA. While president this past academic year, Ely has helped organize countless SBA events and served as a student liaison to the administration. He's been a delight to work with. And he has advocated on your behalf, students, trust me. Ely has also been a Center Fellow for our Center for Equity and Justice and has done transformative work in providing pathways for students to enter law school. So we're really grateful for Ely, and in a new tradition, each year we will present the outgoing president with the gavel of leadership. Ely.
Thank you, Dean Cummings. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I just want to start by saying thank you to everyone that was involved with the SBA board and all of the chartered organizations. We had great events, from barristers to the Dean's Picnic. Field day, always a good time. We had an attorney panel every other day. We did a lot of good work, and what we managed to do with that time was foster a great community. And I think that's something we should all be very proud of. Standing here is an honor and a privilege, and as the president of the student body, I have a unique honor to speak on behalf of the students. In doing so, there are two groups that I want to thank. The first group is sitting right behind me. Widener would not be the same place without the administration, the staff, and the faculty. And I say all three because they are all so important and they make everything that we do at Widener truly fantastic. Events like this are a prime example. If it weren't for their dedication and their effort for what we do at Widener, I don't know that it would be the special place that it is. So I'm eternally grateful. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. There's a second group that I would like to thank up here, and I'm going to turn around and say everyone else. Whether you're here in person or you're watching the stream, there is no way that any of this is possible without all of you. If you're anything like me, the support from home was the most important. There's no way that we gather without all of the effort that you put in when we're at our most stressed, when we're worried about whatever final we're about to take. And your encouragement and your effort to making sure that we can go through this journey as we now have, it was everything. And if we don't take opportunities like this to point that out, sometimes we can miss that opportunity altogether. And so, from all of us, thank you to all of you. Thank you.
It is now my honor to introduce to you the valedictorian of the graduating class. This is the graduate who achieved the highest grade point average of the class and is graduating summa cum laude with at least 20 Cali Awards, with more to come potentially once grades are released. This year's valedictorian is Ms. Kiera Flannery. During law school, Kiera has been actively involved in student organizations, including serving as editor-in-chief of the Law Review, vice president of Student Ambassadors, a member of the Federal Bar Association and the Business Law Society. Kiera has worked as a research assistant for Professor Buckhandler Raphael and has served as an academic success fellow for Professor Christian Johnson. After her first year of law school, Kiera interned with the Honorable Caroline Mahalchik of the United States District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, who also serves as our distinguished jurist in residence. And last summer, she interned with the law firm McNeese, Wallace & Neurick. Following the bar exam, which she will smoke, Kiera will clerk for the Honorable Philip Caraballo Garrison, Magistrate Judge for the United States District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania. We are proud of Kiera. We know she will be fantastic. And I am delighted to turn the mic over to her.
Thank you, Dean Cummings, for the incredibly kind words, and good morning to all of you. I'm beyond honored to celebrate with you all here today, and I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to first and foremost say thank you to everyone who has supported us throughout this journey, with your physical presence or by taking an understanding step back to assure us, do what you need to, and we'll be here on the other side. Please know that today would not be possible without you. On a personal note, I would like to extend my gratitude to my family. To my boyfriend, Michael, who has patiently supported me every step of the way, once driving 2 hours on a cold winter night to fix my self-caused flat tire while I worried about my final exam the next day, because that's just who he is. To my sister, Alyssa, who in true big sister fashion eased the weight of my journey as the first attorney in our family. I, in true little sister fashion, wanted nothing more than to be just like you, my best friend. And of course, to my parents, whose unwavering confidence enabled both their daughters to relentlessly pursue their dreams. My proudest achievement will always be being yours. Mom and Dad, I love you and thank you. In Brown versus Board of Education, the Supreme Court wrote that education is, quote, the very foundation of good citizenship. To my fellow graduates, while we may no longer formally be students, my sincerest wish is that we never stop learning. We are privileged to enter a profession where people will seek us out, turning to us in times of sorrow for guidance on the remedies under the law, and in times of joy for the protections it ensures. With this privilege, of course, comes responsibility. As future lawyers, we are uniquely situated to do good, to advocate for those who were not afforded our same opportunities. When these individuals turn to us, we have a duty to answer their call. If we've learned one thing during law school, however, it is that we will never have all of the answers. So what can we do in those inevitable moments of uncertainty? We can center our practice around kindness. We can treat others with the same dignity and grace that we would hope to be afforded. We can fiercely prioritize our integrity. We can recognize when to concede and when to put up a good fight. We can make a daily choice to never settle for just okay, and we can always be willing to learn. While these are not the kinds of lessons one typically associates inside a classroom, these are among the most important I've learned throughout my time here, the attributes of a good lawyer. That, I believe, is a testament to the Widener community. Above all, people remember your goodness, how you made others feel seen. Remember those here who made you feel seen, and carry them with you throughout your career. Now, anyone who knows me knows that it's only fitting I conclude with a Taylor Swift quote. It goes like this: "You're on your own, kid. You can face this." While the future can seem daunting, may we take comfort in knowing that we are equipped with the intellect, the compassion, and the resolve to go forth and leave the legal community, and perhaps the world at large, just a bit better than we found it. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2026.
Presenting our commencement speaker today is Mr. Douglas Wolfberg. Mr. Wolfberg is Vice Chair of the Widener University Board of Trustees and serves as a member of the Dean's Advisory Council. He is a founding partner at Page, Wolfberg & Worth, and as we all know, just recently presented the law school with its most outstanding gift and named our courtroom the Wolfberg Courtroom. We are pleased to welcome Mr. Wolfberg to the commencement ceremonies today, and he will introduce our graduation speaker, Dave Sunday.
Good morning, and congratulations to all the graduates and to your families. Greetings, President Robertson, Pennsylvania Attorney General Dave Sunday. Widener Commonwealth Law School welcomes you to today's commencement ceremony. Your path to public service began with your enlistment in the United States Navy, where you served with distinction. You were deployed to the Persian Gulf in support of Operation Desert Strike, and later to South America for counter-narcotics operations in the Caribbean. That service helped shape the leadership, discipline, and resilience that continue to define your work today. During law school, you expanded your commitment to global service as a legal intern with the United Nations Office of the Secretariat, supporting peacekeeping efforts abroad. Following graduation, you clerked for the Honorable Joseph C. Adams, of the York County Court of Common Pleas before beginning your career as a prosecutor in the York County District Attorney's Office. Over time, you rose to serve 7 years as district attorney, leading major prosecutions, supervising the felony narcotics unit, and helping guide multi-agency efforts to address crime, addiction, and public safety. You also served as a Special Assistant United States Attorney for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, prosecuting complex gang, gun, and drug cases, including leading a major operation targeting violent crime in York County. Your leadership and record of service led to your election as Pennsylvania's Attorney General in November 2024. You assumed office in January 2025, becoming the Commonwealth's Chief Law Enforcement Officer and continuing a legacy that includes fellow Widener Law Commonwealth graduate Michelle Henry. In that role, you have emphasized accountability, public safety, and a commitment to justice grounded in both fairness and redemption. We recognize you as a dedicated public servant and a leader shaped by service at every level. For these reasons, Dave Sunday, Widener University Commonwealth Law School, is pleased to introduce you as the commencement speaker for the class of 2026. General.
Thank you. Had to do it, I'm sorry. So it's an absolute honor to be here with everyone, and I want to say to President Robertson, Dean Cummings, faculty and staff, family and friends, and of course the class of 2026 of Widener Commonwealth Law School, congratulations. It is an absolute honor to be here with you. Now, I was told prior to speaking that I had about an hour to give my speech. So before Dean Cummings tries to tackle me, I'm not sure how well that would go, just know that I'm kidding. Just know that I'm kidding, and I do hope to share some thoughts of our collective varied paths to receiving our JDs and why those paths actually strengthen us and why we need each of those different paths in the practice of law. So for those of you that don't know me, and a lot of you do now after Doug's kind introduction, I am Pennsylvania Attorney General Dave Sunday. And like you, I once sat right where you are here today, and I sat there as a graduate of Widener Law School. And admittedly, that was quite a few years ago. It was 19 years ago. So someday you also be older, and there'll be young people sitting there. I just want you guys to remember that. So when I graduated from law school, I will tell you, just like we saw tonight, the best and the brightest stood from this podium to address you. And the best and the brightest addressed my graduating class. So I can assure you, with all humility, that this is my very first time addressing a law school graduation. But what connects us isn't just the institution, it's the journey. The uncertainty and the decision to pursue things that just aren't easy. And that's where I want to begin. Every single person in this room has taken a different path to get here. You have different backgrounds, you had different challenges, you had different motivations. Some of you may have known from a very early age that you wanted to become attorneys. Others may have arrived at that decision at some point later in life, such as myself. I fell in the second category. I had no clear roadmap. I didn't know law school was in my future. I will tell you in all candor, I say this all the time, amongst my family, I have far exceeded the world's expectations for my life. Exactly. So, but that's an important part of this speech, and we'll come back to that. So, I joined the Navy right out of high school. I needed direction. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I literally just went and enlisted in the Navy. I was a young man. I was 18. So for those of you that know what military life is like, I was an E1 which meant that I swabbed decks, I chipped paint. I literally was the lowest rank that existed on my ship. But I will tell you that throughout my deployments to the Persian Gulf, South America, and the Caribbean, it was an experience that absolutely shaped the rest of my life. It gave me the discipline that I needed. It gave me perspective and a much deeper understanding about the world. But eventually, like many of you will experience at different points in your life, I reached a moment where I had to ask myself a simple question: what's next? What am I doing? And that question can be unbelievably intimidating. At least for me it was. Maybe you guys have it all figured out, but for me, it was extremely, extremely intimidating. I mean, it feels like a tremendous amount of pressure. But I've come to realize that it's the opposite. The asking yourself what's next truly is where opportunity begins. After the Navy, I decided to pursue my undergraduate degree and eventually law school, all while working at UPS for 8 years. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't easy, but it was mine, and it's what made me, it's my life. During law school, I had the opportunity, as was mentioned earlier, to intern at the United Nations in New York, where I met my wife, a moment that changed my life absolutely forever in ways I could have never, ever predicted. And after graduation, I did clerk for a judge in York County, the Honorable Joseph C. Adams, who 19 years after that, he and I stood on this same stage and he swore me in as the Attorney General, which was unbelievably special and moving for me. When I was in the DA's office, you know, just like you graduate and then you're off to the races, right? They gave me 10,000 files. They said, go do things, and you just got to figure it out. You got to go do it. I don't mean to scare you, but that's an important part of the way that this works. And so I ended up starting with in a courtroom, hoping for the best, to ultimately prosecuting 20 first-degree murder jury cases, attempted murders of police officers, murders of children. We did a tremendous, tremendous amount of work. With the opioid epidemic in law school, they don't teach you about addiction, but we had to learn really quick. We had to learn about addiction, about the mental health crisis. We had to learn about reentry. We had to learn about ways to decrease crime by helping people get opportunities and jobs. And while I was an assistant DA, I literally was going to manufacturers asking them to hire people that were coming out of prison, because I knew that we had to get creative and find ways to make our community safer. Now, I will tell you in all candor, this is not a speech aimed at telling you how awesome I am. That would be a very short speech. It probably would have been all over already. I'm telling you this solely because no one follows a straight line. No one has the same path, and there are things that will come up in your life that you could never imagine that'll lead you down different opportunities. And that's the point. There is no single path to success. There's no uniform timeline, and there is not one version of what your career or life is supposed to look like. I promise you that your beginnings do not define your ceiling. I say that again, your beginnings do not define your ceiling. No matter where you started in your life, your path and your destination were not decided. We all come to this day in different ways. In fact, many differences in this room. Your different stories, perspectives, and experiences, these are not obstacles, and you can never view them as obstacles. Those are your greatest strength, and you can never forget that. The legal profession, and frankly our society, depends on people who think differently, who have varied backgrounds, who challenge assumptions, who bring new ideas to old problems, and who are willing to listen as much as they speak. That last part is very important. It reminds me of the saying that my Nana, my grandmother, used to say to me, that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in proportion. Because here's the reality. You can't advocate for people that you don't understand, and you can't understand people if you're unwilling to communicate, to listen, and to build relationships, especially those who see the world differently than you do. Some of the most absolute meaningful growth in my life has come from working alongside people that had different viewpoints, different life experiences, and different approaches to the way that they handle problems. And not because it was always comfortable, because I promise you it wasn't, but because it made me better. It sharpened my thinking, it expanded my perspective, and it reminded me that respect and collaboration are far, far more powerful than division will ever be. As you move forward from today, you're entering a profession that holds immense responsibility. Whether you go into public service, private practice, business, advocacy, or something completely different, and I promise you those completely differents are out there, you will be in positions where your words will matter, your decisions will matter, your integrity matters. And so will your ability to connect with other people. Not just the people who agree with you, but especially those that don't. Take the time to build relationships, support one another, lift each other up, because while your journey is your own, I promise you, no one succeeds by themselves. No matter where you go and where you're working, no one succeeds by themselves. Now, I want to talk about something that may sound a little unexpected coming from the AG, but I believe in magic. Not the kind of magic you see in movies or on stage. No wands or illusions. I'm talking about something far more real. I'm talking about the moment that preparation meets opportunity. The moment when you make that call and you dive within yourself and you take that risk on yourself. The moment when you choose to keep going when it would be far easier to stop. And I promise you that those days will come. It might be next week, a month from now, years from now, but that moment will absolutely come. And that, my friends, when that moment comes and you choose to keep going, that's when the magic happens. I promise each one of you has that within you. You have the ability to shape your own path, to make decisions that define not just your career, but in some ways, more important, your character, to create impact in ways that you can't yet fully see. I've had absolutely fantastic days in my career, and I have had tremendously, tremendously difficult ones. Cases that have stayed with me, decisions that have carried weight, moments where the path absolutely was not clear. But through it all, one truth remained constant. We are not passive participants in our lives. We are in control of ourselves and our own direction. No matter what anyone else says or does, you are in control of the way you respond to it. And that is both a responsibility and a gift. We live in a world that is constantly changing. It moves fast. It can be unpredictable, and at times it can feel absolutely overwhelming. But you are prepared for it. You've put in the work, you've developed the skills, and you've proven that you can adapt, you can persevere, and you can succeed, so don't stand still. And I want to share with you a very brief story that I have reflected on for many, many years in the course of my life as a district attorney, as an ADA before that, as a federal prosecutor, and I still reflect on it as the Attorney General. So if any of you have not read the book Courage is Calling, Fortune Favors the Brave, I ask you to go get it. It was early in his military career that Ulysses S. Grant was on a long journey across East Texas. Supplies had began to run low. One of his men was sick, a horse gave out. There in dangerous territory, at the mercy of outlaws and the elements, he had to cover over 70 miles to Corpus Christi to avoid being declared absent without leave. President Grant and another man set out by themselves. They were rushed and vulnerable with countless creeks and rivers to cross in this hostile territory, filled with thick scrub brush and rattlesnakes and wolves. The two men heard the most unearthly, frightening howling from wolves. They couldn't see anything because of how tall the grass was. But there was no doubt that the pack was near. Near, mean, and ready, as Grant wrote in his diary, to devour our party, horses and all, in a single meal. He wanted to turn around. In fact, he prayed secretly that his companion would suggest that they turn around, wanting nothing more than to get away to safety. The other officer, a little more experienced than him, smiled and pushed on. Grant how many wolves do you think are in that pack? Not wanting to seem stupid or a coward, Grant tried to casually underestimate the threat that terrified him, and he said, oh, about 20 maybe, which betrayed his racing heart. Suddenly, Grant and the other officer came upon the source of the sound. There, resting comfortably, with mischievous confidence, were just two wolves. So unnerved by the danger with which he was unfamiliar, it never occurred to him to question the racing of his heart, of the extrapolations of his mind, and 4 decades later, after a lifetime in public service, after serving as President of the United States, Grant would often relate that he would think about this incident when he heard of a group changing course due to criticism, or when someone was considering giving up because of bad odds or fear of an unseen enemy. The lessons in these situations, he concluded, were there are always more of them before they are counted. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever let the fear of uncertainty hold you back from pursuing what matters to you. Take the opportunities in front of you, and if they don't exist, create them. Because each of you have one life to live, one. And each of you has worked way too hard to settle for anything less than making it meaningful. For me, that meant a career in public service. It took me around the world, and it brought me home. That reminds me that no matter how far you go, your roots, your values, and relationships, they will always ground you. So as you leave here today, I will leave you with this. Embrace what makes you different. Seek out people who will challenge you. Communicate, listen, build relationships. Help others along the way. But never lose sight of the fact that your life, your career, your future is yours to shape. That's where the magic is. And don't ever, ever, ever let fear of the unknown stop you from doing something that you believe matters. Don't ever let that happen. And the minute you face that and you walk through it is where the magic happens. I have no doubt that each one of you is capable of doing everything we talked about, having amazing, wonderful, unbelievably courageous lives, and I congratulate every single one of you, class of 2026. Thank you, and I wish you the best on the journey ahead.
Thank you, General Sunday. Now it is my great pleasure that I welcome to the stage, to the podium, our fantastic University President, Stacey Robertson.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning. I am so delighted to be here with you. This time of year is my absolute favorite time of year. This is my 7th commencement ceremony for Widener University, and I am so thrilled to be concluding here at Commonwealth and in Harrisburg. The first favor I have to ask of you is, all my wonderful graduates, will you please do me a favor, and I know you're going to agree with me when I ask you to do this, is to stand up, turn around, and thank all your family and friends and everyone who helped to get you here today. Give them a round of applause. Thank you. This is like your little mid-speech break right now. So you got to stand up and stretch. Good news, I'm the second to last speech today, and mine is very short. And I'm going to speak to you today about happiness. Happiness. Have you ever wondered why some people seem happier and more positive while other people seem to find the darkest interpretation of whatever is happening. Those are the glass is half full people versus the glass is half empty people. We often assume this is just nature, that people are born this way. But recent research into positive psychology suggests that we can make changes to become increasingly positive. And the benefits of embracing positivity are so impressive. It leads to greater happiness and life satisfaction, better physical and mental health, stronger relationships, more success, more creativity. Many of us believe that happiness follows success, and that happiness must be sacrificed in the pursuit of success, that being stressed and anxious, exhausted, overworked, all of that is a badge of honor that will eventually result in success and then happiness. But in fact, the opposite is true. We become more successful when we are happier and more positive. Now, this is not to suggest that problems don't exist and that we could just kind of use willpower to be more positive. What I am suggesting is that positivity is an approach that frames our thinking, decisions, and experience in life. It is a mindset. It is how we process the world that relies on gratitude, hope, resilience, optimism, and meaning. To embrace this mindset, we need to cultivate proven behaviors and habits that fuel greater success and fulfillment. I'm going to make just 4 quick suggestions for you all to consider. First, write about positive experiences and gratitude daily. Writing about positive experiences reliably boosts feelings like happiness, contentment, and hope. Studies have shown that people who keep a weekly gratitude journal experience an increase in happiness and more short and long-term optimism. Why is this? Well, when we recall and write about things we're grateful for or happy about, our brain increases production of chemicals associated with joy, motivation, and mood regulation. Together, these chemicals improve your mood and strengthen neural pathways linked to positive thinking. In this way, gratitude journaling is a mental exercise for optimism. Just as practicing an instrument builds musical skills, writing regularly about gratitude builds a positive mindset. Second, meditate for 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes, and it's okay, your mind will wander. My mind almost immediately starts to wander when I try to meditate, and I thought that meant I was a failure at meditation. But all you have to do is draw your mind back to your anchor, whether that's your breath or the feel of your feet on the floor, and start again. I use guided meditation, which is available on a lot of apps and helps you through the process. Neuroscience tells us that meditation strengthens the brain's capacity for positive emotions and resilience. Meditators often report feeling more optimistic, emotionally balanced, and appreciative in daily life. Over time, meditation literally changes the brain in ways that support emotional well-being. Research shows that a mere 8 weeks of regular meditation practice can rewire your brain for happiness. Third, commit conscious acts of kindness. Acts of kindness trigger immediate positive feelings in the giver by activating the brain's reward circuitry. When you perform a kind act, your brain releases some of those feel-good chemicals. This neurochemical boost leaves the giver feeling happier, more upbeat, and more optimistic. In short, kindness biologically rewards you with a better mood almost instantly. Finally, exercise regularly. Physical activity has immediate physiological effects that elevate your mood. Workouts prompt a surge of endorphins, the body's natural painkillers, which release stress and induce a state of well-being. Along with endorphins, exercise also increases levels of serotonin and dopamine, producing that exercise high that we've all felt and that leaves us feeling happier and more relaxed after a workout. A walk, a bike ride, maybe a strength workout, perhaps a pickleball game, although pickleball can lead to injury, folks, so be careful out there on the courts. Even ping pong can produce these chemicals that increase your sense of positivity. The health benefits are just the icing on the cake. So, just to summarize, to become more positive and increase happiness, write about why you are grateful, meditate for 5 minutes a day, do something nice for someone else, move your body. The results will blow you away. To my class of 2026, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored to be here with you today. And go Pride. Thank you, everyone. I told you it was short.
It's my turn, just a few minutes, and then we'll get on to what we're all here for today. I'm so pleased, delighted to be joining each one of you and your families and friends to celebrate this particular graduating class of 2026. I have been dean at this outstanding law school for 2 years. This is my second graduation. Each day has been exhilarating, challenging, rewarding, yes, stressful, and genuinely remarkable. What has impressed me the most as dean of this fantastic place is getting to know our incredible alumni and getting to know each one of you, our amazing students. This graduating class, seated right here in front of me, includes several of our amazing students who have served as my research assistants, as my dean's fellows, as my development liaisons, and as my center fellows. I can honestly say that in 23 years as a law professor spanning several universities, I have never before experienced such professionalism, such vision, such initiative, such ambition as this group of students that have worked with and for me here at Widener Law Commonwealth. I am not exactly sure how I'm going to continue on as an effective dean without this band of remarkable students. So with heartfelt gratitude and deep respect, I thank Tara, Eli, Emily, Rishi, Sierra, Natalie, Gabe, Jermaine, Ashton, Angel, Daryl, Liz, Lindsay, Emmanuel, and Emily. Thank you so much. What I know more today than I ever have is that Widener University Commonwealth Law School is an exceptional place. It is literally teeming with incredible faculty, amazing staff, outstanding students, and superlative alumni who our alumni dominate the workplace at the state capitol and throughout Pennsylvania, the region, and I've learned even the nation. I am so proud to lead this law school, and I am so honored to be your dean. As graduates, soon to be, of our fantastic law school, you are at a transformative moment in your lives. You have crossed the stage soon. You will have gone from law students to law graduates. And by this fall, you will have crushed the bar exam and gone from law graduates to attorneys at law. This moment is transformative because you are on the cusp of becoming what you have dreamed of and worked so hard for the past several years. With this degree and soon to be license, you will be empowered to make significant differences in this world. You will protect your families. You will strengthen your communities. You will give voice to the voiceless and to those who have been historically harmed. You will become that individual upon whom your clients rely to provide them with answers, assistance, guidance, and loyalty. The legal profession is a noble and serving profession. All of the great and necessary social movements in our nation have been led by lawyers. Lawyers ended slavery. Lawyers ensured the right to vote for women and Black Americans. Lawyers ensured the ending of Jim Crow and lynching. Lawyers provided equal opportunity for all children to receive an education. All of these movements were led by us. So why do I share this reminder with you on this pinnacle day in your lives that you earn your JD degree? I would humbly suggest to you that this moment in time requires you, each one of you. The rule of law and democracy must be protected. The voiceless and powerless in our society must be given voice. Those who have been harmed and hurt must be sheltered. You will be the ones to protect, to give voice, and to shelter. You are poised today to join an incredible alumni base who have gone before you and graduated from our hallowed halls at Widener Law Commonwealth to become federal judges, state court judges, from the Pennsylvania Supreme Court to our magisterial district judges. Our graduates have become the Attorney General of our Commonwealth, like Dave Sunday. They've become United States attorneys, White House counsels, undersecretaries of the Army, managing partners at our nation's top law firms, and wildly successful practitioners, and to their ranks you now join today. So as you step forward into the bright sunshine of your future, please always remember that as attorneys, we are responsible for ensuring that the constitutional protections bestowed upon every one of us is protected and respected. Now, I conclude with a personal anecdote to suggest why today and your graduation is so meaningful. When I celebrated my graduation in 1997 from Howard University School of Law, like many of you today, my mother and father traveled from faraway California to attend, accompanied by my brothers and sisters. When my name was called to cross the stage, I could hear a very distinct commotion in the stands. I looked out to see what this commotion was, and right there, my mother was giving me a very joyous and raucous standing ovation. But she wasn't just standing. She was standing on her chair, above everyone else, flanked by my dad and siblings. She probably made them stand too, giving me a standing ovation. But that's meaningful to me because she was celebrating her boy with unabashed joy. Because my mother, better than anyone in that audience, knew today that my graduation from law school was not only not an obvious outcome for my life, but that my walking across that stage that day was a miracle in many ways. As I looked into her face, as I walked across that stage, I could see tears streaming down her cheeks. So I gave that moment of utter joy to my mother, and how proud I am today that I was able to provide that profound moment to her after everything she had given me for those 20-something years. And still standing next to my mother was my beloved sister, Susan. While she was not standing on her chair, she too was giving her brother a standing ovation just like Mom. You see, my Susan was the one that convinced me to leave the streets and beaches of Southern California to attend college in faraway Utah. She was the one that saw something in me that I was not certain that I saw in myself. Following graduation that day, our family's celebratory dinner that evening was unforgettable. My family celebrated me, and I was able to shower them back with love for everything they had poured into me. So I would love for tonight, for each of you here today, to celebrate one another. Shower love upon your graduate, and graduates, show appreciation for the people who believed in you and pulled you through these challenging 3 to 4 years of law school. Because you all, celebrating these moments is crucial. Life is uncertain. Huge wins like today don't happen all the time. My little sister Susan, who convinced me to go to college and believed in me when I did not believe in myself, was on this earth for just a few more years after my graduation date before cancer took her from our family and from this life. Susan may have been the best person I have ever known. She was kind, loving, faithful, an incredible mother to her children, wife to her husband, an elementary school teacher to her students. Plus, Susan believed in me. I miss her every day. But I will be forever grateful that I was able to give her that graduation memory and to show her that her faith in me was true and justified. So to each one of you graduates on this day, May 17th, 2026, you will soon make your mothers proud, and you have justified the faith and belief that your loved ones have poured into you. You will give them this moment, this day, this memory. Now, please take today's joy into your future. Continue to make your sisters, your dads, your brothers, your grandparents, your partners, your children, continue to make their belief in you true. Do your best every day to be fantastic, to make our world better by your presence, to work hard to preserve our inalienable rights, and of course, to always make your mothers proud. Congratulations, graduating class of 2026. We see you, we have love for you, we know you will be excellent. Thank you. Will the candidates for all degrees please rise? President Robertson, the students standing here today have successfully completed the courses of study prescribed for the Juris Doctor degree for which they are candidates. Upon recommendation of the faculty of the Widener University Commonwealth Law School, it gives me great satisfaction to present them for their degrees. Candidates, please be seated. Will you please rise one row at a time and come forward to receive your diplomas? You will be hooded today by the two faculty members chosen by you, the class of 2026, to be hooded, Professor Christian Johnson and Professor Robin Meadows.
Emmanuel Akins. Grace Emma Andrewski. Emily J. Baerga. Noah Christopher Baya. Michael A. Beckett. Graduating cum laude, Alex Oldham Benson. Colin P. Black. Rachel L. Brady. Nico G. Cavallari. Ashton L. Clark. Tara Cochran. Graduating cum laude, Alexander C. Columbia, Esquire. Graduating cum laude, Jessica M. Casaboon. Austin H. Crowley, Esquire. Graduating cum laude, James Owen Cutts. James Donegan. Graduating cum laude, Jason D. Dratch. Melissa Linda Esposito. Graduating cum laude, Kana G. Fasek. Graduating summa cum laude, Alexander Hayden Feefel. Graduating summa cum laude, Brent J. Finkbeiner. Graduating summa cum laude, Kiera R. Flannery. Kiera is being hooded today by her sister, Alyssa Flannery, class of 2023. Edward Fracasso. Graduating cum laude, Ariana Gambacorda. Tina Gill. Noah Gabriel Glatke. Junaidi Gomez Gonzalez. Carl M. Grob. Jermaine Dante Harris, Jr. Cassidy Faith Hardle. Christopher A. Higgins. Abigail Emily Hoban. Sally Maria Hornick. Daryl G. Hunt, Jr. Graduating magna cum laude, Gianna Matrice Ianni. David K. James IV. Precious Johnson. Brooke Jones. Alan C. Caput. Emily Ann Carper. Lindsay Marie Keegan, Esquire. Graduating magna cum laude, Christian Klein. Graduating cum laude, Olivia Kathleen Klein. Graduating magna cum laude, Sydney Elaine Klein. Adam Klinger. Karen E. Kreis. Graduating cum laude, Gabriel C. Kuhn. Graduating cum laude, Lacey Lynn Lawrence. Madison Nicole Levengood. Sydney Blaine Lippy. Brianna Marie Maya. Graduating cum laude, Joseph Michael Marrero. Natalie Solano Martinez. Raquel Elizabeth Martinez. Jamarjo Mayor. Allison P. McLean. Aaron McLaughlin. Madison Milano. Graduating cum laude, Kelly A. Monahan. Aubrey Morris. Austin Thomas Myers. Rishi I. Nai. Evan A. Novacek. Graduating magna cum laude, Max Davison Oler. Paige Oistrich. Maggie Noel Pfeiffer. Katrina P. Perea. Shayna Monet Perez. Graduating cum laude, Sarah Michelle Phillips. Natalie Polo. Veronica Porter. Aiden Reeser. Christian James Ross. Graduating cum laude, Caden P. Rude. Chase Franklin Runyon. Angel Madeline Sanchez. Tanya M. Scanelli. Miranda May Shiflett. Graduating magna cum laude, Griffin Smeltz. Molly Elizabeth Smith. Graduating magna cum laude, Tara R. Smith, Esquire. Graduating magna cum laude, Emily Ann Sweeney, Esquire. Elise Taylor Thompson. Graduating cum laude, Justine Quinn Trevino. Karina Valdelascava. Connor Wallace. Corinne Ellis Webster. Elizabeth Wenger. Ellen McElhaney White.
Thank you so much.
Nicole Whittle. Sierra Leone Williams. Sierra is being hooded today by her brother, Keith Williams, class of 2025. Tamira M. Wilson. And Christopher Stefan Yurchak. And last but certainly not least, Ely A. Zeigler.
stand here. Graduates, will you please rise? Under the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the trustees of Widener University, I confer upon you the degrees for which you have successfully completed the prescribed courses of study and for which you have been recommended by the faculty of Widener University Commonwealth Law School. This degree is conferred with all the rights, privileges, and immunities appertaining thereto. Congratulations, class of 2026, you did it!
Thank you. Thank you all for attending today's ceremony. It has been a joyous event. I encourage you to take the joy deep into the afternoon and evening tonight. Once again, to our graduates, I'm so proud of you, and I am damn proud to be the dean of your law school, Widener Law Commonwealth. We invite everybody here to join us for light refreshments out on the forum lawn following the ceremony. Thank you all so much for coming. Have a joyous celebration today. Please remain seated as the platform party begins our recessional. These proceedings are concluded. Thank you.